2 reviews in one day! Woo! The Mitchells vs. the Machines is now streaming on Netflix and is a latest animation film from Sony, and is a film that I've been excited for a very, very long time. This was supposed to release last year, but then something happened. You probably know what it is, and it's been delayed ever since, but then it's now finally dropping on Netflix, and people can finally get a chance to see it. This movie follows the story of a very dysfunctional family that just can't seem to get along. Very flimsy threads connect them together, and eventually they have to band together and put all their differences aside to save the world from a robot apocalypse, which is being led by a rogue AI that has decided humans are insignificant and they all need to be shot into space and got rid of immediately. And now we have our movie. If I was to give you the title out the gate without telling you exactly what the movie was about, there's a good chance you may or may not be invested in it, because be like, okay, versus the machines again, we've seen that 1,000 times. I mean, the technology being confronted, yeah, we've done it before. Mitchells vs. the Machines, though, is not that kind of movie. This is a very special film. In fact, I love this movie. There's a very good chance that it's going to end up in my top 10 by the end of the year, and I'm going to try my damn best to make sure it does. I thought this was wonderful, gorgeously animated from start to finish. This is one of the most stellar and most kinetic movies I've seen in the medium. And I mean that in all sincerity. Not a single frame of this movie feels like it's lacking spontaneous combustion of energy. It's like every scene is exploding with ideas and imagination, and that is rare to say about a lot of movies. This is a jaw-dropping film to watch, and it pains me that we cannot see this in theaters. I know it's out in limited theaters, and some people have probably seen it like that, which is awesome, but most people are probably going to end up watching it on Netflix, and that's a shame, man. This would have been a glorious experience on the big screen. But if you did see it on the big screen, let me know in the comments below. I really want to hear what that experience was like. The voice work is also fantastic. Everybody in the family who plays these characters is excellent. Our main character, Katie, voiced by Abby Jacobson, is fantastic. You really see the film through her lens, and I mean that literally and metaphorically. Because she's an aspiring filmmaker, the entire thing that is going on with her is very film-based. And she's very much rooted in terms of films. Films are what have given her a sense of comfort and closure in her life. And that's what's kept her going for so long. And she's about to attend a college to study film. And so a lot of the inner thoughts that she's having are all film-related. And there's a lot of animation and a lot of, things that she does that are very much like it's coming out of a movie. And I think that was absolutely fantastic. In a world where there are people who still sometimes get doubtful over the idea of art, on what people can do with a form like that. This is a wonderful film. There's a really great commentary in here about how creative people can be and how amazing the things that they can pull off with said creativity. It's quite remarkable. There's also a huge commentary in it about technology itself, our over-reliance on it, because once this AI goes rogue, voiced by Olivia Colman, by the way, once that happens, it starts to do simple things like turn off the Wi-Fi. And as soon as it does, the entire world state comes collapsing down. There's people like, we're going back to the old ways. We need sacrifices to get the Wi-Fi running. It's really insane, but it makes sense because you have to think about it. If the world loses Wi-Fi tomorrow, and if it loses it right now, there'll be like a frenzy. Think of the last year. If in the last year you didn't have internet, television, streaming services, PlayStations, Xboxes, on all that shit, if you didn't have all of that, you'd be completely just imploding because, that's what people live on right now. That's what they need. So the fact that the film sort of takes that and says, well, now if you lose this, there you go. There is some astute commentary in there. But make no mistake, this film is not just about commentary, and it's not just about themes and discussions on those themes. It's also hilarious. There's also a very heartwarming story about family in the middle of all of that, which is wonderfully explored. And Danny McBride, who plays Rick Mitchell, the father of this family, he's really, really good in this. He's trying his best to connect with his daughter because she's getting more and more distant from him over the years. And the way their relationship is kind of brought together as the film goes on is genuinely very heartwarming. There were definitely at least 3 scenes where there were tears, man. Like that's what is it with Lord and Miller Productions or written movies that have tear moments? I mean, Spider-Verse had it last time, and now this one does too. This movie also has a really great sense of music. It's not just the Mark Mothersbaugh score, it's also the songs that they've chosen to place in the movie. They're very well picked and they're very well used. None of them feel out of place. They all match up the tones perfectly. And the film also is incredibly well paced. It never loses you for a second. It is an hour and 53 minutes long or something like that, and it's got you. It's got you from the second it starts off till the moment it ends. It's downright amazing. I could go on and on about this movie and I could sing the praises of it because I looked very carefully for flaws. I pried this thing open like crazy, and I really could not find anything. I really could not find a major issue with it. Nothing that felt like it was holding it back for me. Yeah, there's a couple of moments here and there where, some conventional beats happen like they do in movies about dysfunctional families, sure. But I've talked about this in previous reviews also, which is when movies tackle ideas that have had roots in other things before, it's not so much about why it's being handled or what's being handled, it's more about how. And this one handles it in its own way, and it handles it in a very good way, in a way that really impacts the story and elevates the movie. And for that, I really, really love it. And I know it's a little early in the year to give a very exceptionally high score, but I've given a few so far. And I'm going to give The Mitchells versus the Machines a 10 out of 10. I really, really thought about this one, and frankly speaking, I couldn't think of a better rating. I couldn't think of a movie deserving of that rating more right now. It's a fabulous film, and please do check it out. Like I said, it's streaming on Netflix. Give it a chance. It's really, really worth your time. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Look forward to more reviews very soon. As always, if you like this, please do subscribe, and I'll see you guys at the movies.